Welcome back to the Ten8 podcast by Rainbet, the one and only superfan, and my other friend. I forget his name. What's your name?
Alex Buchanan, bro. What's up? What's up, dude? What's
That's
up?
right.
Man, happy to be back. We've got a lot to talk about today. From the very, very, very lackluster UFC 302 to this week's UFC Louisville, Jarek Andair versus Nazardine Imavov. And let's just jump right into it. There's not a lot to talk about. There's a little bit to talk about. What did you think about Islam versus Dustin Poirier?
It went about. It was a little bit more competitive than I had predicted it. I kind of thought it'd be a complete wipeout with Dustin having no success. I think my exact prediction was a knockout in the third round. Obviously, Dustin hung in there. He showed a lot of heart and grit. Um, and also, I think my take about Islam, I don't know if you saw this, dude. So on Twitter, I was getting dragged. I mentioned that I thought Islam had better MMA striking than Dustin Poirier. And it came to this huge thing. People were saying, oh, it's because of the threat of the takedown. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's because he smells bad or not. If you have success on the feet, you have success on the feet. But either way, I actually thought Islam held his own on the feet better than Dustin held his own on the ground. So I don't know if you saw my tweet. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I think you're dumb, bro. I I completely disagree with you. Islam has great striking. He's very underrated, but it's night and day compared to Dustin Poirier.
But he was winning the exchanges on the feet.
I mean, was he really?
A lot of them he did. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know. People, if Dustin's hands are lower because he's expecting the takedown, that opens up success for Islam. That still happens in the striking area. It has nothing to do with what's going on the ground. I think that I proved myself. I think that he's a better MMA striker than Dustin.
Yeah, no, you're completely off on that. Yeah, it's different. It's different from like the typical boxing style of Dustin Poirier, but it's just straight striking for striking. Dustin Poirier blows Islam out of the water,
Well, he didn't
and
do that.
and
He defended 3 of 6. I think what was it? He defended like 13 takedowns. The fight took a lot of place on the feet, and Dustin still lost 4 rounds.
Yeah, because it was from the takedowns.
Not
He
from
took
the
him down.
takedown. He lost
I mean,
the exchanges
I
on the
mean
feet. He
he
also lost though.
he took him down every single round. So if you're worried about the takedown, of course you're going to be vulnerable on the instant striking. I mean,
So it
yeah.
sounds like you're agreeing the MMA striking might be better from Islam. I don't know.
No, not at all. I think that's a dumb take. Yeah, but I agree. I thought Dustin was going to get taken down in the first, second round and get tapped. But he showed that, man, he's that guy. He showed a lot of heart. Do you think he should retire?
No, I was actually very vocal about this. I think there's still so many fights for him. Granted, a lot of them are rematches. Maybe that's not the path he wants to go down, but I think I can speak for everybody when I say we all want to see him fight Charles Oliveira again, do we not? We all want to see. I don't want the Gagey trilogy to go to bed right now. I mean, how can you do that? 1-1, both finishes. How are you not going to complete that trilogy? I'd like to see him against Rafael Fiziev if you want somebody new. I'd like to see him against Arman if Islam. I don't know how it's going to go, but say Islam goes up and fights Leon Edwards. I'd be down to watch Dustin and Arman in the meantime. I can name Colby Covington, that rivalry. That's fun. Let's see him go 170. I I don't know, man. I don't. How do you feel about that?
It's tough. It's tough. As a hardcore MMA fan, of course I want to see Dustin fight, and because he's must watch television. He always has been and always will be. But from a I guess a human side, he's been saying for the last four fights, like, what is he fighting for? And if he can't get the thing that he's been trying to get since he turned pro, which is UFC gold, why is he fighting? And obviously he said it during the week, like he's addicted to fighting, but like there's no he doesn't have that thing to get him out of bed anymore. And while I would love to see him fight Charles or fight Nate Diaz or fight Conor McGregor a 17th time, like um, if he's not motivated and he doesn't want to do it, then I don't think he should because, like he said, he doesn't want to get retired from somebody, and if you're going into a fight not motivated, that's going to happen to you. So
Yeah.
I'm kind I'm kind of conflicted on it.
Yeah, I can see that point of view too. I mean, I guess my point was just as a fan perspective. I do think there's a lot of like, I'd even bring up the McGregor quadrilogy. I mean, say I think that's a huge thing. I think that he might be waiting to see how that goes down because Dustin's not stupid. I mean, he'd be a huge favorite in a matchup. If Dustin wins, they can do another pay per view. He can retire with an extra, I don't know, 10, 15 million from that fight. I don't know. I think that him and Justin Gage could headline another pay per view and give him a ton of money. I mean, I know he can't get the gold now, but he can still get a lot of money.
It is, but also, with him fighting a Connor or a Colby, that takes it takes it to a different level mental wise. They talk about his family, and he doesn't get down like that. If he fights Justin Gaethje, that's just more brain damage that he doesn't want to take. Because he said, he's 35. Like, what else does he have left to prove? He doesn't have anything left to prove. So I'm conflicted. As a fan, fuck yeah, I hope he fights, but I don't know. I don't know if I really want to see him fight in this kind of like mind space.
Yeah, I feel it. It's like Dana said. Once you're thinking about it, it's probably the right move. But I don't know. He went toe to toe with this. I mean, he got I won't say dominated. He lost decisively, but he had moments and he showed toughness. I just think that guy still has a lot of fight in him, and I don't want to see somebody. I don't want to see him get knocked out and be outside the top 10 like Tony Ferguson, go down that path. But I mean, he's a bona fide top 3 lightweight. I just don't really. I guess it's just selfish. I don't want to lose that yet.
1000%. I think the only fight that like I would like really hope that he would try and get is the Nate Diaz, just because of the history they have with each other. And I think it's just a fight that like is crazy that it never happened. So yeah, man. What more can we say about Dustin Poirier? He's a living legend, and yeah, man. Whatever he decides to do, I'm happy with. Uh, I'd say the only thing there's not much really to talk about this card. The co-main event happened. It's pretty much what we all thought was going to happen. Maybe we thought Paulo Costa was going to be a little bit more aggressive, but he
Oh,
wasn't.
that
And
sucks.
Sean just kind of jabbed and teeped his way to a unanimous decision, or not. It was a split
Yeah,
decision
Coach even
because of
admitted that
fucking
was the
judge.
worst, dude. I tweeted that out. At what point is there an investigation? Because I'm not saying that we're not going to disagree with the judges sometimes, but that's a blatant. There was no argument for Paulo Costa winning maybe 2 rounds. I don't think. I think there's an argument 5-0 Sean is better than anything for Costa. But
One
what
thousand percent, and I definitely think that judge was either betting on the fight to go to split decision. It's either that or he got the fighters confused.
New Jersey mob, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
they
mean,
could have got mixed up. Paulo Costa and Sean Strickland do favor each other, a lot.
yeah, I don't know if he thought Sean Strickland was a Brazilian all of a sudden and was scoring it for that. Like, I don't. It's indefensible. I don't care what all these Twitter judges that can break it down. Oh my god, he kicked him in the leg and he had control, and oh, he outlanded Sean. Like, nah, shut the fuck up. There's no way a judge can look at that fight and say Paulo Costa won 4 rounds. The first 4 rounds. That is literally insane.
Yeah, I can't believe the scorecard either. It wasn't even 3-2. That's insane.
Dude, ridiculous. So, yeah, that fight kind of sucked. The only other thing, which got everybody's really talking about it. I mean, Donald Trump has been showing up
Oh
to
my
UFC
god.
fights for a long time. He's been showing up for fights for a long time, but for some reason, this card, because of he got found guilty, people are just losing their fucking mind.
Listen, I've got bad news if you're an MMA fan that cares about this. 99% of the fighters that you watch, you're probably a fan of. They probably just haven't said it yet. One day it's going to come out. Like last year, we saw Robert Whitaker go to that, what was his name? Jordan Peterson, the big political guy on the right, whatever. And there was people saying, I can't support him anymore. Like, I'm not following this sport to figure out who I like more as a human being or who agrees with me politically. Like, I like Robert Whitaker because he does a really cool 1-2 head kick. That's why I like him. As long as he's not supporting like Hitler, like cool. Vote for who you want, and he's not even from America. Like vote for whoever you want, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 1000%. I could give a fuck what a MMA fighter believes in or supports or whatever. That's someone told me this a long time ago, but like when Sean Strickland was getting all of this publicity about what he was saying and saying that women deserve to be back in the kitchen or whatever, someone just said, if you are listening to Sean Strickland and you're trying to take advice from Sean Strickland, there's something wrong with you. And
Exactly.
I
I I
completely
like
fucking agree.
I can tell you the first time I saw Strickland, like, oh wow, me and this guy do not agree on anything whatsoever, ideologically, politically, nothing. But damn it, I hope he beats Israel Adesanya. That'd be cool. Like I didn't sit there and go, wait, well, who's Izzy voting for? You know what? Where does he stand? It's the dumbest shit ever. I can't. That's one thing I can't say about MMA Twitter. They care way too much about politics. It's so stupid. Donald Trump going to these fights is probably good for the sport. If you want to be honest, I think it gets more eyes on the sport. But I also don't really care if Joe Biden shows up. Maybe that's probably also good for the sport. Let's get the president in there. Let's get both of them in there at the same
No,
time,
bro,
and let's have Dana White sit them next to each other. I'm down for it.
no, bro, you're either a lib or you're a bleeding red asshole that's racist and hates gay people, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. God,
Yeah,
so
but
sport.
yeah, it's such like it's just so fucking stupid
It's
and
so
like
irrelevant to everything in the world.
1000%. And Dana White has said several times he one of the biggest reasons why he brings Trump around is because he's friends with him, but not because of his beliefs or whatever. It's because fucking Donald Trump was one of the first people to let them hold a fight at his casino, and he's forever indebted to him. Like, how
Yeah,
hard is that? How hard is that for people to understand?
yeah, cool. I have a guarantee for you. If Joe Biden or Barack Obama called Dana White and said, "Hey, I love McGregor. I really want to try to get to this fight," guarantee you he would get them there.
One
And
thousand
if
percent.
Conor McGregor jumped the cage and wanted to shake Joe Biden's hand, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, 1000%. I'm with you a million time. So yeah, people are stupid. I wish Twitter just gives people who have zero IQ a platform to speak their mind, and it's annoying. So, with that being said, let's move on to this weekend's card. I gotta tell you, it's not the best card. It's not the worst card. I could give a shit about the main event. I don't care about the
Oh
main
no,
event.
I disagree with you there.
I'm more invested about the prelims and the main card. Couldn't care less about the main event. What are your thoughts on this card?
If I were gonna give this one a ranking, for one, it's on the apex, dude. At this point, my bar is so low. If they're in front of fans, I don't care if it's in a place called the KFC Yum Center. Dude, we have fans in the building. Cannonier and Imavov, I think their styles are gonna be pretty awesome. I think there's gonna be a finish in that fight. I'm riding Cannonier as an underdog. I'm excited for that fight. Uh, as far as the score goes, I won't rank it with the pay per views. I'll rank it as a fight night. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10.
I think 7 out of 10 is very fair. So, what are your thoughts on the main event? Because I don't care. Honestly, I don't care at all.
Like I said, I think there's probably going to be a finish. I'm a big Cannonier fan. I've always liked the guy. I liked him back when he was a fat guy at 205. I was like, dude, this guy's pretty freaking cool. I watched the Ewan fight where he like marched at him with his hands down. If you ever seen that clip, it was freaking badass. I was like, dude, this dude's cool. And yeah, I like Cannonier here. Imavov has already. I don't know how he keeps getting main events. This is like his third one, and like, yeah, he main event against Strickland. The main eventing is Roman Dolidze. He's got like Dana White's nudes or something because this guy should not be main eventing this much. But yeah, I think Cannonier. I know he's 40 now, but I think he still looks good out there. He still has the power. He's very defensively good at this weight class. Obviously, his takedown. I'll take that back. When he fought Vittori, he actually won grappling exchanges against the guy that's more decorated at grappling. I think I can't believe he's underdog in this fight. So with that being said, I have a parlay slip this week. The rain bet parlay slip. He's going on there, man.
Yeah, I think if the version of Cannonier that beat the shit out of Marvin Vittori shows up, he should have no problem beating Nasruddin Imavov. Um, Now that being said, it's been a year and some change since he's fought. There's always the question of like, when is Jared Cannonier really turning 40, right? Because he is 40, but like, when is age going to catch up to this guy? Because most 40-year-olds, they start to lose something. Lose something. You're not supposed to be 40-year-olds. You're not supposed to be 40 years old and fighting in a cage.
And looking like he
So
does. Shout out USADA.
1,000, yeah, 1,000%. So I'm just gonna keep leaning on Jared Cannonier until he looks like shit. And the only other fight I kind of want to ask you about is Dominic Reyes or there's Dustin Jacoby. Where are you leaning on this fight?
Since I've started gambling, I have lost on every single Dominic Reyes fight in my life. No joke. I started during the Weidman fight. I actually bet on him against Weidman. Um, and then I bet on him to get finished against Jones. And he didn't get finished, obviously. Arguably, definitely won that fight. Then the Yuri fight, I knew who Yuri was from the other promotion, but I was like, yeah, I think Dom's still there. And he got slept. And then against Ryan Spann, I was like, oh, this is a joke. He's going to knock him out in the first round. And he got dropped by a jab. So a lot of people aren't hot on Dominic Reyes right now. I understand why he's the underdog, but I'm here to tell you he's not on the Tony Ferguson path. This is the fight. He bounces back. Jacoby's good. Reyes is more powerful. He's better. He's longer. This is the second fight on the parlay, baby. We're going 2 underdogs this week. Cannonier and Reyes. Let's get back. Going with the old dogs, baby.
UFC fans, Fight Night is here, and RainBet has you covered. Place the same combo bet as the Ten8 podcast and receive a win-win wager. Even if the bet loses, RainBet will refund you in a free bet for up to $50. Click on the offer link below and place your win-win wager on UFC Fight Night.
Thank you, RainBet, for that message and for that that offer. So if you're listening to this, take that offer. It is legit, man. And
Win-win. I mean, you can't lose. You can't lose, baby.
yeah, I wish I could disagree with you, but I'm with you, bro. I think I think he knocked Dustin Jacoby out. The thing, if Dominic Reyes gets knocked out by Justin Jacoby, who's not a power puncher,
See you in PFL, baby.
then it's time. Yeah, then it's time to call it a career. I just don't think. I don't think Dustin can knock. It's kind of hard to say. I don't think he will knock Dominic Reyes out. I'll go that angle. And I think Dominic Reyes he got replanted in a new camp. I think he's he almost died due to blood clot. So I think like he's very grateful. He's in a good headspace. I think we're gonna see glimpses of the old Dominic Reyes. I hope at least, like I feel bad for the guy, dude. I honestly feel bad. Like I hated him leading up to the John Jones fight, but I honestly feel bad for him because, like, yeah, he beat John Jones, and if he would have got that title, his whole career would have been different, right? But because he lost that fight, man, I mean, what a fucking complete 180. So
yeah, John Jones ruining people's
it's
lives.
sad.
It's usually his family members, but it really hurts more even when you see somebody he's not related to just ruining their life.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and choose our bets. You'll win, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, baby.